All right. We got one more for tonight. And that is number 10. Exactly. I know. I don't know. You have to be on everyone just to give me every live stream so you can give me those numbers. But nevertheless, here we go. And it is the 10th country. What is it? Oh, yeah. Albania. And it's Albina for Albania. She's bringing along her family as well. Isn't that sweet? And Familja Kelmendi. They're going to join the singer on stage to perform Duje, the song that won the televote in this year's festival. Almost said the Kansao, but Sikenges. Therefore, the privilege of representing the country at the contest. Albania will perform in the second semi. All they need to do is beat 6 songs, because there's 16 in the running to make the top 10, therefore go to the grand final. We're here, not here to predict, I should say, but we're here to discuss the song. Let's talk this through. James, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
All right. So for better or for worse, Albania sort of hews to a formula, with like the exception of the excellent Eugene Bushpepper and Mall from, was it 2015? Albania kind of tends to stick to a formula, and you can kind of almost play an Albania at Eurovision bingo with a lot of their elements. So for this one, we got the eagle screech. We have use of a traditional guitar-like equipment with a balalaika. We have the woodwinds, and then we've got the almost Kodo drum ensemble type percussion, as if it's like a declaration of war. And then we've also got traditional messages, sort of like the family, be close and respectful of your family, for one day, they might be gone, and, treasure them in the moment. So there's a lot of standard elements here going into this particular Albanian entry, and personally, I do like it. Does it blow me away? No, but it is uniquely Albanian. Can't mistake this for coming from any other country, and yes, I do find it sweet. The family sentiments plus the singer bringing along her actual family.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I just love the idea of this whole, family sing together, and you don't know they could be gone the next day, and it just warms my heart, makes me miss my family, and that is always powerful. I'm sad now. Thanks a lot, Albania. But the biggest plus for me is that exactly about the song. But the song, as much as I want to really like it, it's a bit draggy. And I appreciate the traditional sounds. It's very, you talked about the Albania bingo card. It kind of falls in there. And sometimes they execute it well. I tend to gravitate towards that kind of music, but I'm just not gravitating towards this song. I can't access it emotionally as much as I want to. I just know the theme, and that touches me. But melodically, it's just not happening for me. And that doesn't make it a bad song. That just makes it a song that Matt is not gravitating towards as much. So if I had to describe it just briefly, I would say I'm a tad underwhelmed, because I think this could have been really impactful and emotional and like, whoa, but it is just almost too heavy melodically for me and too old-fashioned. You can still do traditional and make it somewhat accessible. Albania's done quite a few times at the contest. And this one, the spark's not there. At least it doesn't light a spark within me, unfortunately. So it's still, but again, I will give it credit where it's due in my score. Don't worry. Connor.
Yeah, so for me, and I think back to my first reaction to this when it was in Festival Kengas, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is awesome. And I think that my likelihood to come back to it has decreased as we add more entries. I'm really happy that Albania has not taken a screechy yelly perspective of a very loud and in your face. I think of like Georgia's song this year that's just very loud and in your face, and that's very traditional for them in the past couple of years. We have something that's a little bit more pared back and is just melodically more calming, and I do really like that. But I think the thing that perhaps I'm stuck on. This is perhaps in my bundle of wild cards. I think this one really comes down to the staging. And what does this look like live on the stage? Because if it's not done right, it could just be extremely messy and just kind of maybe fall apart. I'm very excited though. They are more comfortable on stage than they looked in Festivalia Kingas. And when I say they, I mean the family, not Albina specifically. If they can just get everything right, I think it's going to come together. But of those things, what they get right, what they don't get right, I don't know. I still have a soft spot for it, but I'm not as drawn to it as I am other entries, especially other Albanian entries of recent.
All right. Arno.
Yes, you said it, and you're right, Connor. To me, staging wise, they will have a lot of challenges because there are many people on the stage actually, and not dancers, just the actual singer. There are a lot of people, and it has to come together in order to make the song impactful live. Because I do agree with Matt. Actually, to me, I think in the beginning there's the spark with the the very big and dramatic opening with the high note of Albina, but once you get past that, it's kind of draggy. There's a lot going on, and it still has the bingo Albania Eurovision, but I enjoy it. The revamp is cleaner also to me, but yeah, there's so many aspects. It has to really come together in Liverpool in order to go big and to go in the final. I hope it goes to the final, but we'll see.
All right. Let's talk about the scores, because we can talk until the cows come home. All that matters is where we put it in the end. James, what's your score?
All right, so my score for this one is 6.5. Yeah, it didn't blow me away, but there's a lot of strong elements to it. Yeah, I guess my worry for them is they're kind of ending up. Too many people might put it in the middle, and not too many people might give it 12s. So even though it might have a high average score with us and the population in general, there might not be enough 12s out there to send it to the final. But that being said, I do appreciate Albania at Eurovision. They always bring something different. Then it's not going to be a cynical cheap dance number. There's always going to be a lot of thought put into it. So 6.5.
6.5, yeah. And I point out the plus, the pros of the song. In the end, though, it is still just a tad below average to me, the song. So therefore, my score will reflect that 4.5 for me. 4.5 for me to Albania. Connor.
Yeah, I end up in the middle, kind of more towards Matt's side. But I did give it a 5. Like I said, it's in the bundle of wild cards that yes, I'll go back through and I'll listen when I'm listening through the Eurovision songs, but there's nothing right now that's really pushing me in the direction of, oh my gosh, I have to replay. I want to listen to Albania specifically. But I do always love to James's point that Albania is and will always be Albania-ing. They are going to stay true and authentic to them and not to go crazy wild into perhaps the dance pop realm. Well, they did once in the late 2000s. Still a good song, but or early, I don't know. I can't keep it straight. But I just love it. Again, that authenticity, it really just comes down to this live performance, and that's going to make or break it for me.
Okay. And Arno, what's your score?
The last note of the evening. Well,
what is it?
Last individual one.
Individual, yes. What is it?
Well, I'm closer to James because I'm actually a very nice person this time. I gave it a 7. But if I had to score it now, I would give it a lower score, probably a 6, because the more I listen to the song, the more I find it draggy and less special and less impactful than when I first listened to it. But still 7 because it's enjoyable and listenable.
Okay, there you have it. the question is, where does Team United put it overall? Once again, not just the four of us, but everyone that was interested and willing to vote. We got plenty of votes in. And make sure to post your questions if you have any about Albania. But the 10th and final score of the evening for Albania is 5.40. So, Connor, your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I think that some of our commentary around perhaps like Greece and Switzerland here applies to Albania as well, that there are probably enough people that are either putting it just completely dead center, or there are a lot of people who are putting it super high and a lot of people who are putting it super low. We don't necessarily know those specific details, but it is certainly polarizing. And I think that staging will help it and maybe enhance its overall score in Liverpool. But I'm not shocked to find it so low, because the buzz after Festival e Këngës has just been slowly decreasing for Albania across the overall fandom. And I think that's just what happens when you're, I think, the second song to officially come out with no PR. They've really done nothing besides release a music video. And it's just unfortunate. I would love to see more. They are doing a pre-party, so I'll give them that. But
Which
I
one?
think
Tonight?
I believe they're doing the one tonight, and I think they did Madrid as well, perhaps. They did another
I don't
one.
remember.
Israel,
but yeah,
I think,
it's
right?
Madrid, yeah.
Israel. Yes, they did Israel. But they just aren't being talked about, because I don't think they're as present and availably out there as some of the other artists are at the moment.
Okay. Any other thoughts from you, James? You're kind of like you're a little bit higher than the average there, but is that what you expected?
Yeah, this is what I expected. Usually with our group, Albania only breaks the mold, starts running away higher with the score when, people like Eugene Bush Pepper, probably messed that name up, are coming into the fray. Or I think Janita Maliki got a much higher score than that. But usually when Albania stays traditional, our group that tends to more towards the indie side, they tend to poo-poo it a bit. So I kind of expected a middling score overall.